All right. This is Railroader Cabal. We are in Command & Conquer Remastered. Red alert to do a 1 versus 1 video commentary. What's up, guys? It has been such a long time since my last cast, and I'm super excited to be finally casting a game in Command & Conquer Remastered. Red alert. The servers haven't been so good today just because there's been so many people online that it's just been crashing the servers constantly. But I was able to find a couple of pretty decent games here. And we have an expert player, Bikerushownz. And he's going to be playing this game here alongside Far. So both these players are relatively good. You know, I checked him out on the rankings. Bikerushownz, as of right now, is still undefeated. He's still 14-0. Far, meanwhile, has a couple of losses to his name, but this is going to be an exciting game. We're going to be on the map Snow Garden, and it's going to be one of those games where I'm super excited about. So let us continue in this game here. So like I said, we're on the map Snow Gardens, and it's a relatively small map. So in the north here, we see playing as the Allies from Greece. This is going to be Bikerushownz, and down in the bottom right, playing as the Allies from Greece is Far. So I'm just going to close that. Whoops, wrong one. Close that. Okay, so both these players are playing as the Ally. They're playing as the Soviets. And when I said out, I meant Greece. It's from the Soviets from Greece. That's what I thought here. So Bikerushownz is going to be playing as the Soviets, and he's going to be looking around the map here with some rifleman squads here. He went for a barracks first, which is quite unusual. Usually players would try to go for a war factory. But also, same thing here. We see a... What is this? Looks like Far has got an advanced power plant. That is very interesting. So it looks like he wants to have that extra power. He wants to base creep. I see what he wants to base creep from his construction yard because he didn't know where the ore is. Usually players, when they're like this, you know, new to the game, they have no idea where the ore is. So Bikerushownz is going to be taking up on this. He has a barracks here, and he's just been pumping out some rifleman squads here just to scout where Far is. And I think he probably knows he's probably in the bottom right. But he also has a couple of rifleman squads here. And this is kind of funny how they walk through that water and then they just did not attack there. But Bikerushownz managed to take out that scout here from Far, and Far has got his refinery up and running, as well as a barracks. So it looks like he's going to be raking in some ore as well. Bikerushownz, what have you been doing, buddy? You have been just getting up a refinery. And quite honestly, that's a very smart thing to do. This game is relatively slow paced. I mean, I can see the maps that are very relatively small because the fog of war is just insane. We got a tank here, a heavy tank here from Far, and he's just been scouting the map, trying to see where we can find Bikerushownz. He's trying to squish that infantry for that rifleman squad. I'm not sure if he can do... Oh, hey, he did. So Bikerushownz not up to the task of microing his forces properly, but he does have a single rifleman squad here. I think he's going to scout that Far has one here, and he's building a couple of rifleman squads of his own just to counter it. But Bikerushownz has got another tank here. I'm not sure if that's his first one. I think that's his first one. He's got a war factory too, so he wants to pump out some heavy tanks and hopefully take out Far while he's got his guard down. But Far has his own garage. I'm sorry, I'm so used to saying garage, but they're called war factories because they look like garages here. Oh, by the way, that's a cool feature, how they can just like zoom in and out like that. It's pretty damn cool. So the graphics in this game here are really, really nice. And as we see, another rifleman squad has been rolled down there by those tanks. So both these players are playing Soviets. And with the Soviets, they have very heavy tanks, and they're relatively good. And we see that Bikerushownz has sold off one of his refineries because he doesn't need it. One refinery for 2 harvesters is a relatively good ratio. As we check the maximum map here, we see that Bikerushownz and Far do have relatively good money, but also Bikerushownz has gone all in. Bikerushownz has gone all in, selling his MCV with just 1 war factory and 1 barracks. This is going to be very, very clutch. He's going to be pumping out tanks nonstop here, but we see that Far is on top of things. He's got 3 tanks of his own. He's going to be catching off Bikerushownz. Cardi's trying to get him out into position, but Bikerushownz has repaid the favor and he got into position from him as well, and he's just been pulling his forces all back here. But unfortunately, those heavy tanks do take a significant amount of damage. By the way, I'm not sure if you noticed, but I got the health bars on too, just because it's just a lot better to have health bars on, in my opinion, so that you can see where the how low all these tanks and infantry are. So Bikerushownz is bringing his force. He's got an engineer as well, so hopefully he can do a little bit of damage there. But Far, meanwhile, has got 2 harvesters with his one refinery, and he's going to be trying to defend his base here. He does have still has construction yard, so he's not all in, but he's got to do a lot better job because Bikerushownz is all across the map, and he's got far pinned inside his base, which is not exactly what you need. And Bikerushownz is sacrificing a couple of his Ruffmans just to see what else he can find in the space here. But unfortunately, once you reveal the Fog of War, then you reveal the Fog of War. But Bikerushownz now and Far are in the middle of things here. Bikerushownz is going to be microing one of his forces away. Proper micro saves your tanks, and then he gives a healthy one a chance to survive, and then that tank is almost dead. Far should keep up on that. He does. Takes out one of another forces here. Back and forth brawls by both these players. Just zoom in a little bit here and see what's happening here. We see Bikerushownz has lost this fight here, which is unfortunate. But he does have some more tanks scurrying around the map. Just to look at a couple of other things, wandering harvesters here and whatnot. Bikerushownz and Far are almost out of money. Actually, another force here. Bikerushownz still has 2 and 1 on that top field. He's doing okay in terms of economy. Far, meanwhile, is not, unfortunately. He's still at, okay, now he's doing pretty good. I can't exactly know how much money a single refinery brings in, or a single harvester brings in, but it's relatively good. So both these players have got this. Oh, we see what was that? We see a flame tower. So a flame tower has been placed up by Far. That is something I don't think anybody's seen in pro play. Whereas I see pro play, I see, like just heavy tanks and heavy infantry. But although it looks like Bikerushownz is going to catch off one of these tanks off guard, he does lose one of his own tanks, but he's going to trade off with one of them, which is pretty damn good. So Bikerushownz on top of the micro, just keeping Far inside his base and just making him, regret his decision. Although we see a flank coming in from Bikerushownz, standing in 2 of his tanks in the backside of things, trying to take out a harvester. Far should notice this right now. One of his harvesters is under attack, and he's going to be microing his harvesters away. Bikerushownz is going to be microing his tanks away. Good micromanagement. Oh no, those tanks have stopped. Those tanks have stopped, and Bikerushownz is going to lose his tanks unless Far can do something about it. But it looks like he's going to be able to send off his tanks right away. But Bikerushownz, meanwhile, he's going to be putting off his attack and then just trying to destroy the war factory. Nice micromanagement there by Bikerush. Is able to do that on his own and destroy the war factory. Fantastic job there. Far has been placed down a service depot so that he can repair his tanks and whatnot. But yeah, this is just keeping Far inside his base, and Bikerushownz is doing a fantastic job of doing so. But unfortunately, for Far, he can't attack Bikerush. Like Bikerushownz has so many tanks all across the map. He tried to take his force and he's trying to split it up, but he can't because then Bikerushownz is just going to be attacking his base. And I think he's going to be noticing that his ore has been depleted completely. Has Bikerushownz ore been depleted? No, he's not. He's still good. He's got 3 harvesters on that field, which is very, very damn good. Hop back down here, and we see that one of the harvesters is under attack now. Far is going to be losing his economy. I don't think he has any more economy left. No, he's out of money. He's out of money. Bikerushownz has stalled his economy, and that is not good because in order to get more ore or gems, he's going to have to go to the center half of the map, and Bikerushownz, so for some reason, he still has ore on top of here, which is very, very good, and his harvesters are just bunching up, which is not good. He wants to keep an eye on that. But Bikerushownz has got a lot of tanks here, and in doing so, Far has been able to go and mine some ore at the top here. But Bikerushownz has a couple of tanks on the bottom half here. He's got 4 tanks now? He's got 4 tanks, which is good. And he also has seeking an engineer. So this is Red Alert 1. So you can't capture a single building unless it's damaged like all the way down to low health. But I think Bikerushownz is going to be keying up on this, and he has a war factory here, and he does do a little bit of damage to that refinery. He's able to do that, and then bring in his tanks at the bottom half of the map here, and he's going to destroy that refinery. And in doing so, he's going to be pulling back all his forces, and Bikerushownz still has another contingent of tanks up there, taking out the refinery. No more operations there from Far. It looks like this might be GG for him because he doesn't have a refinery, and he's out of money. He's out of money. He can't afford to build one. Bikerushownz is the victor. GG, well played. So I don't think they have stats for this one yet. We'll see if I can get some stats. I don't think I can. But yeah, so there is your game on, what was that, Snow Garden. So hope you all enjoyed that game. My name's Cabal, and I will see you guys next time.